Oluwaseyi from Nigeria. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut clear anti-glare lenses for your RayBan 2140, the original Wayfarer, color 901, which is the classic shiny black in the 50 eye size. So let me take it out of, this is the original packaging that RayBan sends it to me, your Italian leather RayBan case, your RayBan Wayfarer. This is, again, the model number 2140, color 901 in the 50 eye size. And of course, this is the original Wayfarer made in Italy. These are the lenses as they come with your heavy glass breakable G15 lenses. I'm going to remove these from your frame, take out those heavy glass lenses, and I'm actually going to now cut unbreakable bulletproof lenses and super lightweight. You'll be shocked at how much more comfortable this frame is now. But I'm putting your Italian frame into my Italian Santanelli patternless edger. It's the LE1000, and the stylus has popped up and is now tracing the shape of your right lens. Then it's going to move over and trace the shape of the left here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame, and you will receive free, clear, single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses, which is what you chose this time, except you upgraded to the anti-glare coating. So I'm going to pull the shape up on the computer. If this were a prescription, I'd put in your pupillary distance, but I'm just going to have it match the frames. These are polycarbonate lenses being cut for a Xyle frame, which is just an old school name for plastic. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take your lenses out of the protective sleeve, set them on the counter. Now, I need to attach this to your lens. This is what's going to hold it in place while it is cutting. This is a block, so I need a double-sided adhesive sticker. And when you know it, 3M, the same people who make Post-it notes, make some of those. So the black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that on the block, pull the tape away, and then I'm going to stick that down onto the middle of your lens. I'm going to do the same thing again now for the other lens. Put the sticker on there, pull that side away, and stick this onto your lens. So I'm going to take your lens and put it into the chuck and hit start. And the first thing that's going to happen is these calipers are going to come down, and it's going to trace the shape of the right side of the frame onto the lens to make sure this lens is large enough to fit. And it does, but it's starting with the rear surface, the back surface, also known as the concave surface, which is closest to your eyelashes. And then it's going to move over and trace the front side of the lens, all the while measuring the thickness to know exactly where to place the bevel. Now, these are non-prescription lenses, so they have no edge thickness, but the machine just does this to know exactly where to best cosmetically insert the lens into the frame. The actual cutting wheel is down here on the bottom left. That's what's going to grind away your lens material. And this wheel into the center with that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to cut the bevel onto the lens. I will have to close the door in a moment, but for now I just want you to see as it touches down on the cutting wheel. So your lenses are the polycarbonate material. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. Your lenses are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into them. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Now, this is also an aspheric lens. Aspheric literally means not spherical. Spherical is a round, bulging, ugly, non-cosmetic lens that gives you a fishbowl appearance. Aspheric just means it's much flatter. It's going to give you a much better cosmetic appearance inside this frame. Now, so you have, this is the original. This was made in the 50s. I'm wearing the new Wayfarer. It came out in 1992. It sits in a little closer, doesn't have as much as that panoscopic tilt, as you will. But these are the two Wayfarers. I got to put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing. So water jets have just kicked in. That means it's in the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. And it's only coming in just to wash away any optical sawdust that could be on the edge of your lenses. Excuse me. But Oluwaseyi, I do want to thank you for your patience while we're struggling to get all this going with the delay in the website, and I'm going to get these overnighted to you just as soon as I can. Again, thank you for your patience. I hope you've been very understanding through all of this. This just took me a couple days longer to ship than I had planned. I sold 3 pair in 1 hour, And I only had 2 in stock, so I had to hurry up and get one overnighted to me so I can overnight it to you. So I've dried your lens off. I'm going to use my handstone, which is completely flat. I could put my finger on it, but you still have some rough edges left over from the cutting cycle. So I want to use my handstone to literally melt away those rough edges. This is called Schwarf, that white powdery substance that I'm scraping off your lens. I'm going to get all of that off your lens and onto the counter. And once I collect it all on the counter neatly into one pile, I wipe it on the floor. And this is where I say, kids, stay in school. I went to school for years to learn how to make a mess like that. So kids, if you want to grow up and make a mess, you got to stay in school. So let's see if we can get your lenses mounted. I'm going to tuck them in at the outside corner using my thumbs. I'm going to press down at the nose, but this one's still a little bit large. So I'm going to take a little bit more off of your lens until it easily pops into the frame. Get that out of the way so that doesn't get wet. So essentially I'm going to take down another 1/4 millimeter off your lens. You can always cut more off of a lens. You can never add it back on. And if you notice, there is water running in the background, but polycarb cuts dry where plastic and high index lenses cut wet. So these are the unbreakable bulletproof lenses, so they don't need water while they are cutting. But for all of my American friends, of course in Nigeria you know what a millimeter is, but for all of my American friends, a millimeter is the distance between my thumbnails. I'm going to take 1/4 of that distance off, going all the way around the circumference of the lens until this will easily pop into your frame. Okay, so in just a moment this will stop, and when it does I'll take it back out to dry everything off. And we'll see about getting this mounted into your frame. Take that out of the chuck, dry it off. Now, in order to mount this, I'm going to tuck it in. I have the frame pointed upright. I tuck it in at the outside corner, which is closest to me. Using my thumbs, I press down at the nose and your lens snaps in perfectly. So now I'm going to do the same thing for your left lens. I'm going to flip this over to left and hit start. Just like before, the calipers are going to come down, but this time they're going to trace the shape of the left lens to make sure this is large enough to cut out. Always starting with the rear surface, the back surface closest to your eyelashes, and then it's going to move forward and trace the front surface of the lens. And once this lens begins cutting, I'm going to go ahead and continue to work on your right lens. Okay. And let's start cutting your left lens. So I'm going to take this block off. It is no longer needed. Dry your lens off. And of course, I will also, not only will you be receiving your RayBan cleaning cloth, I'm going to throw in one of mine with instructions on how to care for both cleaning cloths, your eyeglasses, and your frame so they will last you for years. No other seller on the internet is doing that. Speaking of which, I also include a photo request to have your picture on the website because I'm proud of the work that I do, and that way you can brag to your friends that you're a RayBan model. But when you buy glasses online, everyone charges you for plastic lenses. If you want the thinner, lighter weight polycarb lenses, you have to pay an upgrade fee. If you want the aspheric lenses, you have to pay another upgrade fee. So this is everyone else's third tier, high-end premium lens. They charge you a lot of money for. This is what you get for free from me when you buy a frame. And of course, you don't have to pay for overnight shipping. It's just one of the services that I provide. So these water jets kick in for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. And then as soon as this is done, we'll take it out and we'll see about getting your left lens inserted into the frame, and then we'll get these overnighted to you. So I was talking to him on the phone. This guy sounds super intelligent. Of course, I've never met someone from Nigeria who isn't. They always speak about 5 languages, have an incredible work ethic, and can probably run a marathon to boot. But this is a good guy. He wants these frames for when he goes and visits his family. Okay, back to the handstone real quick. To smooth out those rough edges. Use my thumbnail to scrape all that off. And I do this so much, I've worn a V-shaped bevel into my thumbnail. But once it's all on the counter, I wipe it on the floor. Whee! Hey, you know, the clown has to have fun while he's at work too. It's not all serious business. So, I've rotated the frame around so the empty side is closest to me. I'm going to tuck your clear anti-glare lenses in, and I'm going to push down with my thumbs. Now, the anti-glare coating, that's wonderful. It eliminates glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead, fluorescent lights. It's also a reflection-free lens, so that when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses, or if someone takes a picture with the flash, you don't see the flash lit up in the lens. It just makes for a much better cosmetic appearance. Plus, I always like to point out that if you receive these in the mail and they're too loose or too tight, or they're high on one side or the other, just stop by your local optical shop to get them adjusted. 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get it in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. So those 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down to see there is no wobble. When I say wobble, I place mine. The reason why all optical shops do free adjustments is 80% of people have one ear that's higher than the other, and I'm no exception. That's why when I take mine off and set them down, they wobble, but they sit level on me. But I press down, there is no wobble. Flip them over on the counter, press down, there is no wobble. I make sure that each temple is overlapped perfectly, and then the same amount of tension on each hinge, and there is. So I'm going to go ahead and get these ready for shipping. Put the plastic sleeve on the temple, and put them right backside in the case and get them sent to you. If anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Oluwaseyi, again, I hope you enjoyed watching as I made the clear anti-glare non-prescription lenses for your RayBan 2140 original Wayfarer, color 901, which is the classic shiny black in the 50 eye size. So that's it, and I hope everyone else got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.